Hi, guys. Good morning, or good afternoon, or wherever you're coming from. Welcome to our first episode of Hardworking Dads, the podcast where we celebrate the hustle, the grind, and the great balance act that being a dad has. I'm your host, Curtis Leong, and co host, RJ Horner. And we're here today to dive into topics every dad out there wants to or is wrestling with work life balance. How do you keep the scales even when you're taking care of business at work, but also taking care of business at home? Let's talk about it. What do you have to say today, RJ?
Oh, I love this topic, Curtis. I mean, I think that, and that's why kind of we chose it for our first episode because as a dad, like we have so many struggles. Now, people need to know out there, I'm a stepdad,
Hmm.
but I kind of stepped into a family, but I've learned a lot of lessons along the way on how to deal with kids and how to get them to do what you want. Especially as a stepdad, when you first start out, they don't respect your authority, right? You have to get them to listen to you, to understand you, and then
Hmm.
do what you say. So I've come a long way with my kids, but throughout all this time, I mean, there's so many things that a dad needs to do, right? And you can get stressed out if you worry about all the things of, look, what do we have? We have to earn a living, right? We
Yep.
have to pay the bills.
Yep.
We have
Put
to
food on the table.
yeah, make sure everybody's fed, clothed, and through all that, make sure they're happy. Because I mean, we need a
Yep.
happy home, right?
Oh,
And
for
that's what
sure.
it boils down to: is how do we, with all of this stuff going on, how do we still maintain a happy home, right?
Yep.
So,
For
what
sure.
are your thoughts on there? Like, I know you got a young girl.
Yeah.
How do you still keep it all going, keep yourself happy, and keep yourself, energetic and enthusiastic, rather than getting upset with your kids?
Yeah. Well, that's sometimes a bit of a juggling act, I believe. But I take some personal time every morning. Like I do meditation, some exercise, and stuff like that, and journaling. That helps me. But I've only been doing that since 2020. But previous to that, I just found things that made me happy. And what made me happy was coming home after work, playing with my daughter for a couple hours, and listening to her laugh. That was the best. When kids laugh, it makes you so happy and joyful. It's like, I love this. So that
Mhm.
makes everything worthwhile because, you're working hard, you're working like 10, 12 hours sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So that makes a big difference that you're probably tired, but when you come home, the kids just seems to re-energize you. It's kind of like, you eat your dinner and you're like, oh, I'm so full. And then, hey, my favorite dessert, all of a sudden you got some room. So it's kind of like that sort of feeling, you know what I mean? Like I can do this. But then sure enough, you sit on the couch, eat dinner, sit on the couch, gone out like a light.
Yeah.
And you wake up, oh, I got to go to bed now.
Yeah. The enthusiasm, certainly finding the joy, finding those little things,
Yes.
right? One of the other things I see is a gift I've given my kids. Like my kids are grown-ups now,
Yeah.
but they've all, like both of them, they have dogs. And
Okay.
so we've always had a dog in our household.
Yeah.
And that dog brings us joy. So you know what I mean? And many a times we've laughed and played with our animals, and they bring us excitement and happiness. So
Hmm.
finding even that little thing, some people like cats, and I'm not saying, I'm a dog person,
Yeah.
but
Me too.
cats, and my daughter likes rabbits, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And
yeah.
rabbits make her enthusiastic. So finding those little things that are going to bring us joy, like you said, a kid laughing, there is nothing like that
Yeah.
sound there.
Pretty awesome. Or, when your dog, you come home, the first person that greets you is your dog.
Always.
Always like, oh, hi, you're home finally. Pat me, please. It's
Yeah.
like,
The
yep,
kids,
sure.
the kids can't get there fast enough, right? Because the
No.
dog always
They got
waits.
four legs compared to
Right?
two little legs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, nowadays it's a bit different, but they're growing up. So kind of funny.
And so what it boils down to is it's always about time spent, right? Like finding quality time. Like you and I, with our business, we prioritize family time over business time, right?
Yeah.
At our last event, you weren't able to attend. Why weren't you able to attend?
We had to go to Wonderland.
Right?
Yeah.
You had to go and take your family to an amusement park.
Hmm.
And hey, man, you know what? One of us was here to keep going and keep the
Yeah.
business working, but you had to prioritize your family over your work. And a lot of times dads out there don't do that, right? We're
Or your
so
wife
busy.
getting mad at you, one of the two.
Yeah, we're so busy spending time. Well, that's exactly what you said to me, right? You're
Yeah.
like, listen, I can't be at the next event or my wife's going to kill me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's right.
I mean, it's not going to kill you, but I mean, do you want to deal with the hassle of not going and spending quality time with your family? No,
Yeah,
man. Happy wife, happy life, right?
that's right.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what it boils down to is many
Yeah.
dads out there don't prioritize um that family, right? We work so hard to put food on the table, to pay the bills,
Mhm.
that we often neglect our families. And I think that's where I think every dad out there needs to draw the line and
Yeah,
say,
for sure.
if I put my family first, here's how it's going to work out for us, right?
Yep. Yeah, definitely. It's a good idea. Do you want to hear a dad joke?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So, what do you call a dad who's always working?
I don't know.
A busy dad.
Busy dad. Yes, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
that's pretty funny. Pretty much a groaner there, but anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That one hurt the heart just a little bit.
Yeah, let's move on from that funny joke.
No, you got me. You got to laugh out of me,
Yeah.
so that's not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what are some of the ways dads out there? I mean, you mentioned your meditation in the morning. We mentioned, spending time with our kids. We mentioned,
Going to the gym.
pets, and yeah. So, what are some of the other ways that we as a dad can maybe check out and spend some time with ourselves so that they can recharge?
Well, actually, don't be drinking or doing other bad stuff like that because that takes time and it takes a lot out of you, right? So some people, that's how they turn to, right? Not the best idea, but just finding a group of people that are similar mind or something that you want to be. Like we have our academy, right? That we are trying to promote, and I think that will help other men and women who wants to join us that can make a difference, right? Because you want
I
to be
love.
around like people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. We talked about this yesterday on our seminar. Is you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with, right? So hang out with a better quality of person, right?
Yep.
Get around people who are going to lift you up, inspire you, and motivate you, so that you can become a better person, become a happier dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, definitely.
You and I are part of a couple men's groups, you know what I
Yep.
mean, that keep us going, keep us inspired. Maybe that's something we'll consider here in the Hardworking Dads Club, is just a weekly shut off or something that
Mm-hmm.
dads can use to unwind.
Yeah, for sure, definitely something. Yeah, something like. Well, I'm also like part of a book club as well myself, and I find that's really inspiring because a lot of times you read a book or you listen to a book and you're like, okay, that's my thought, but sometimes you get the conversation with other people with their takeaways. It really kind of changed the dynamics of the books because their perspective's different, and I found that some of the books that I've read, like what I'm currently reading, Atomic Habits, some of the stuff they've talked about habits I never really picked up on before, but someone mentioned something, it's like, oh, hey, that does make more sense now. Right. So I think it's kind of cool that way because sometimes we think of things based on what our knowledge is. And there's people out there that have a different perspective or different experience that will help us say, oh, hey, this is okay. That makes sense. Maybe this is a better way of doing it. And sometimes our own thought is very limited. And then just by talking to someone else or hanging with the right people will change us just by being around them. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the key there is, spending time with other men, and yes, yours is a book club, right? But spending time with other people, whether it's in a support group, or even just going out to the bar on a Friday or Saturday and spending a couple hours with the guys. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just and what Curtis was saying is don't do the bad stuff earlier. You know what? Drinking a beer, spending some quality time is not going to you, but you can't go and abuse that.
That's right.
The alcohol or the marijuana. Like, look, I was.
What's that? I think you froze there, buddy.
For far too long. From having that quality time with my family, it wasn't serving me, right? You can go to that level where you're. If you're going to do these things, of course, use in moderation so that it's more effective and not,
Yeah, because you still want to do something, but like if you're coming home every single night and drinking a 6-pack, that's not cool, right?
or if you're spending all night at the bar with your friends rather than coming home and spending time with your family, that's not exactly healthy either.
Well, that's where why divorces happen. Yes.
Right, exactly. Again, and that's, I think that's kind of what we're telling people out there is that, you know what, it's great that we again, we go out, we pay the bills, we do what we got to do, and then we have a shutdown. We find some way to unwind, but we need to prioritize families and
Yeah, for sure.
keep the home happy.
Yeah, well, I just had to tell my wife goodbye there. After work this
But
morning.
you got another dad joke here that I see you wanted to tell.
Yeah. 1 second. Okay, so we're working hard. Oh, speaking of bills, you know why dads always bring in an extra pair of socks when paying the bills?
No.
In case they get a hole in one.
Yeah, and so there's
funny.
another way to unwind too, right? Is golf. And have you ever played golf, Curtis?
Yep. Yeah, I used to have clubs, but I haven't played for a long time just because I don't have anybody to go with or the
You'll
time
have to get
factor.
together over a game of golf. I'm not the best at it. I've played it a few times in my life.
Neither am I.
There ain't no handicap on me. I'm handicapped when it comes to golf, that's for sure. But
yeah,
but
I like going to the driving range usually if I have time. I find it's more
of
beneficial than trying to do 9 holes of golf.
Yeah, I'm certainly not in any capability to get a hole in one. Put it that way.
Hey, luck's always on your side. You never know.
Well, we need to get together over a game of golf, and there's a great way for people to unwind and
bond with your friends. Yeah,
they have the 19th hole, by the way, which is a little beer stop after the game of golf. So
some of them have beer cart people driving around, don't they? Some of the golf courses.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to one that does. I've only been on like a public course. I'm wondering if that's the private course that they're.
I don't know. I've known people drive around, and every couple holes, or if you want to, they have to just drive around at all the holes, and then they just do the rounds or whatever, and pick up beer or whatever.
So the one I was at, they had a after the 9th hole, they had a little beer stop, like a little
cart.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a cart. It was just like a snack bar almost type thing.
Oh, you're like a little hut on the side type thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So one of the other things is, and we talked about having a happy family home, is spending that quality time. This is something that's died out, but we used to have game nights. You know what I mean?
Yep.
How many times we played board games with our kids? You know what I mean? So, and it's something that's kind of died out, right?
Yeah. Well, because you got your freaking devices and stuff, and the TV shows or whatever, right? So it's something that you have to do. I know there for a while we got this book for family time book, and we would do different activities. I know if you see the videos I did, we would make ice cream. We did like some adventure thing in the kitchen with string all throughout, and you had like crawl up and around and get to the other side. It was kind of fun. But there's I forget the name of the book. But anyway, we had that. It was like just you scratch the thing and then you just do that activity. So you say today was like Saturday, like today, you would scratch off what you have to do for the days, and then you have to do that activity, and you take pictures of it, and it just builds up the family bond. It was kind of cool. We did that for about, I think probably 6 months. We did that for a bit, and then of course got other things going on and sort of passed on. But we both work a lot now too, so sometimes that comes into play too, right? Try and get
absolutely. We're so tuned to our devices now that we actually tune out our family, right? And so I love what you talked about, because you know what, there's a book where even if you brought one out every week or 2 weeks, you did one. You know what I mean? So, but you're always infusing some sort of
together time,
and some action and some way to keep you guys happy and keep you entertained and keep the family tight as a family unit.
Yeah, I think that's totally good, because I know a lot of times currently, even though you sit on the couch and you're all on your device, it's not quite the same.
Yeah.
Or you're watching a TV show y'all like, and it's kind of fun, but then you can talk about it after. That's probably better than just sitting on a device playing a game or scrolling on whatever. Or if you're a creator, maybe you're creating videos and stuff.
Yep.
Right. So that takes a lot of time too. So.
And so you had a dad joke around that too?
Let me think. Okay, come on, give me a second. Why don't dads ever play hide and seek at work?
They'd get in trouble for that.
Well, maybe because good luck finding the time for that.
Yeah, that's definitely a hunt. Yeah, absolutely.
Or better yet, you're hiding from your job. Like the
So your
boss might get
boss
mad.
has to seek you out. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
yeah.
can't be a good one. That's for sure.
That could be a bigger problem if you're in that position.
So, Curtis, I think we've given, for our first episode, we've given people a good idea of what we're putting together here, why it's so important for hardworking dads to just maintain a level of togetherness and some time to check out for themselves. So, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, just if you have a hobby you like, you can do that in your own time too. Sometimes just because someone's doing something doesn't mean that you can't do it for yourself. Like, do you have any hobbies that you like to do, RJ?
I like hiking. I like
Yep.
just disappearing by myself in the woods.
Oh yeah, I
Again,
remember you're camping too.
yeah, taking time to recharge. I even go camping by myself on occasion. I haven't done that in quite a while, but yeah, man, just finding. I love the outdoors. That's my
Yep.
thing.
Perfect. Me too. I like going to. I remember when I was younger, I had to go to Algonquin Park every other weekend and go canoeing on my own at
Oh,
Fort
that's
Talkin. Yeah, it's pretty insane. I loved it. It was like great.
canoeing on your own. That can be dangerous, can it not?
Oh, you got your life jacket on. There's always someone around, right? It's not like you're totally by yourself, but there's other people doing the same thing in the area, so there's someone there. But a life jacket, you just you're pretty alert at what you're doing. It's just I don't know. I never thought about that before.
Did you have training at that, or
Yep.
just hop in a boat and off you go?
Yeah, well, I knew how to boat and stuff and canoe and whatnot, right? So
So,
the worst case scenario is like if like a bear attacks you or something. But for
yeah,
the most part,
that's
you're
not
out in the
one we
wild.
can control, right?
Yeah, you're out in the wild. Who knows, right? But if
Take
you're smart, you know the right things to do. You just like any job or any other skill you pick up, you learn things. But as an amateur, maybe you could probably get yourself in a lot of trouble, right? The first
yeah.
few times. But
And I
yeah,
think I'd like to sum this up if you don't mind,
yes,
because I
let's
think
do it.
that's what it all boils down to is that at any given moment, we can experience challenges that we may not be able to control, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And just look, you're a survivor. You're still here. No
Yeah.
matter what you've been through, the struggles, the hard times, the difficulties, the down and outs, we've been through them all. You might have even had some pains and aches and some, calamities happen where, broken a leg or something like that.
Yeah.
But you're still here. You've survived. You got through it all. So we will survive, right?
That's right.
Most times, I mean, we hope we survive a bear attack, right? A bear, like sighting.
Yeah.
Expect that, what, you can find a way out, you can find a way through it, and and I think what we're talking about here is just finding a way to disconnect and recharge.
Right on. Perfect. One more last dad joke or what?
Sure, and then you can end us on our episode. You can talk us out of here.
Okay. So why don't dads ever give up on work-life balance?
I hope they never would, but I don't know.
Because they're outstanding in both fields. That's the old one. All right, so let's end it up here, I guess. So dads, hardworking dads out there, just remember, balancing work and family life isn't easy, but it's worth it. Your job is important, but your family is priceless. Thanks for tuning in to this very first episode of Hardworking Dads. If you enjoyed this, then hit subscribe button and leave a review. Share your stories with us. We'd love to see how you can juggle your work-life balance as well. Let's keep this conversation going.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Have a great night.
Peace. Bye.